The growth enhancer sucks. Not in its mechanics, but in how those mechanics were implemented. And it's only comparatively. It's not like I want to remove this feature that I spent half of the last episode implementing. Who would do that? Right, guys? Every machine does one thing until you ascend it, and then what it does changes, except for the growth accelerator. Let's go over this first. The block breaker breaks blocks until you ascend it, and then it crushes blocks into smaller versions of themselves, such as cobblestone into gravel and gravel into sand. The sand sifter sifts sand and red sand until you ascend it, and then it sifts every block. The poison field creates a poison cloud until you ascend it, and it creates a wither cloud. The alchemy reactor changes blocks into alternate versions of themselves until you ascend it, and it starts reaching through dimensions. It also has a secondary feature that is essentially a less powerful version of the Ore Infuser's secondary feature. The Ore Infuser has a chance to change stone into any ore, including the new Quartz Ore that I've added. When you ascend the Ore Infuser, it's able to purify ores into full blocks of themselves. This extends beyond the capabilities of the alchemy reactor, which is only able to transform metals, and is able to purify blocks such as diamonds and emeralds. Then there's the growth enhancer, which does a lot of things until you ascend it, and then it does a lot of things, but more times at once. That doesn't really fit in, does it? I mean, even without the ascension, the feature set doesn't fit in. We have its base ability of being able to accelerate the growth of crops and plants underneath it. The weirdest part of that is that it's able to let pumpkin and melon stems grow pumpkins and melons onto the blocks next to them. But then it also has this weird secondary ability without having to be ascended that turns cobblestone into mossy cobblestone, stone bricks into mossy stone bricks, and grows grass onto dirt, as well as putting flowers on azalea leaves and bushes that weren't previously flowering. It does all of that, and then you ascend it, and then it just does it in a 3x3 area. Which, by the way, no other machine does. Every other machine only interacts with the block immediately below it. So, what's the plan? I'll show you the plan. I'll actually walk you through how I fix this in real time, because I've been thinking about this today, and I want to fix it. So here we are in the growth enhancer code. This is the code that lets it grow pumpkins and melons. This is the ascended code. And this is the regular unassended code. So how am I going to fix this? I'm going to separate these, and these are going to become the ascended functions, where it grows onto extra blocks. Because this might be something that you want to automate, especially if you don't have a vine farm, which genuinely you can get to a point in Chopping Block where you have all the things necessary to make one of these machines, but you don't have vines, and if you want to build with mossy bricks or mossy cobblestone, you don't have an option, and this gives you that option. I know that seems really edge case, but you genuinely have to think about almost everything. Things can go disastrous, and you can just end up blocking off feature sets to an entire group. So we're just going to make this the ascended, and we're going to delete this. This is the 3x3 code, so we can just delete that very comfortably. If we go back in here and reload, when we power this, excellent, these two happened. This one did not. If we ascended it, cool, excellent. The pumpkins and melons are being added to the ascended pool. Just one, to limit farms like I showed in the last video, but also just because it feels like an ascended feature. I don't know. Maybe I'm being weird. saying that, but it feels like an Ascended feature. Hey, little aside, do you guys want to know something funny about these videos? As a result of the shader I use, which is meant to emulate the look of Minecraft Xbox Edition with the brightness all the way up, when I turn this shader off, everything looks really oversaturated. Like, I'm sure you've gotten used to the look of the game right now, huh? I'm gonna turn off the shaders in 3, 2, just kidding, get jump scared, I didn't wait for the countdown. Look how saturated this is. Oh my gosh. I don't know why I hate it so much. Maybe I'm just weird. And it's funny, because when I watch Minecraft videos, this doesn't bug me at all. This isn't an issue. This only happens when I am playing. By the way, anyone following my game design ethos, or who knows game design themselves, probably has a very good question on their mind. Why did I give the ore infuser this functionality when the alchemy reactor already had that functionality? The answer is remarkably simple. What do iron, copper, and gold have to do with the first machine that diamonds, lapis, and emerald don't? The answer? Alchemy. These 3 are alchemy metals. These 3 are not. These 3 are affected by the alchemy reactor. These 3 are not. All of them are ores, so they are all affected by the ore infuser. Does that make sense? I don't care. It's my mod and I'll cry if I want to. Alright, I'll get to it already. What are these? These are 2 of the ores that are going to be replacing the blocks that were used in the More Bricks data pack. I really didn't like those building blocks, and I didn't think that adding those specific building blocks added anything to the Skyblock experience so much as the vanilla survival experience. Whereas being able to throw stone into an ore infuser and get quartz ore out of it without having to travel to the nether seemed fairly useful to the survival Skyblock experience. And hell, unless you were really following the project super closely, I doubt you even know what blocks these are replacing. It was gilded stone bricks and gilded deep slate bricks. It wasn't anything important. I have still replaced gilded blackstone with gilded blackstone bricks, but I don't plan on re-adding those gilded bricks at all. So now it just stands to ask what I'm going to replace these blocks with. I can't really think of any material that's missing an ore, except maybe— oh my god! I forgot about the netherite progression. I forgot that some people might want to get netherite armor, and you just can't get that right now, other than loot bags. Netherite ore. Let's go, I guess. Alright, we are back from the break with admittedly a very difficult amount of debris ore to obtain. And as you can see, you can mine it with a pickaxe. We mined 9 ancient ore, and we can craft 4 ancient debris. It's also affected by fortune. You can also silk touch it. I have to figure out one more ore that I want to add to the game, but I don't know what it's gonna be. Quartz ore and deep slate quartz ore were pretty obvious additions, as I wanted to be able to obtain quartz outside of the nether. Ancient ore was an obvious addition as well, because it leads to the ability to obtain ancient debris without going mining for it, thanks to the ore infuser. I want it to be another nether ore, because there's a serious lack of those in the game, and I feel like it would open up a lot of opportunity. I mean, the end is in need of some love. I'm sure that could use a new ore, considering in vanilla, the end just looks like this, and is surrounded by islands that all look like this. Maybe it'll end up being an end-based ore. Who knows? But I need to find out what it's gonna be an ore for first. Either way, I hope you enjoyed this video. I had a lot of fun recording it, and I'm not gonna have a lot of fun editing it. This is my least favorite part. But thank you all so much for watching. Hope to see you next time. And yeah, that's it. I'm out.